Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is. With our hearts uncovered, where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. When them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yeah. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goals regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can't be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the Jews life taught you. It's on you, tell the truth. Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kimberly with the Unseen Twisted Truths. We are the People's Podcast, and this is Henry.
Hi, Kimberly. How are you guys doing out there?
Blessed and highly favored. So, our guest speaker may not come on. And there's a couple reasons why. One, he's in Nigeria, and sometimes they go without power. But then two, also, they don't recognize the daylight savings time thing that we do. So he's normally was 5 hours different than us. He was on an hour ago exactly. So I think he came on early, thinking it was 8 o'clock my time, and didn't realize that we hit daylight savings time, so we missed each other.
That happens. Yeah, people neglect time zones. They're really important, even in your own country sometimes.
And I forgot to tell him that we had daylight savings time already because the weather changed. But they don't recognize that over there because they're not. Michigan's the only one I think that really pushes that.
The daylight savings.
Yeah.
I forget how widespread it is. Honestly, I don't even pay it no mind.
I know a lot of states
pride. I take pride in that. People are like, you're gonna lose an hour. I'm like, no, you're not. Doesn't matter. You'll catch back up eventually.
And it's how do you lose something that's not yours in the first place, for one, and for two, time was made up by man anyhow. So
yes, it's a fallacy, a construct.
Yeah, it's a mindset.
Trees, dogs, deer, concrete, all that shit doesn't give a damn about time.
Seriously, they don't, and it's a mindset. Seriously, if we go back to the original time and original days and stuff like that, we're already messed up. Messed up.
It's funny. I don't know a hell of a lot on daylight savings. I should, but every time I ask someone, I get a different answer. It seems like I don't think anybody really does. It's mostly for the farmers, they say.
I think everything's pagan. I don't know why I feel that way, but I feel that a lot of things are pagan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all derived from somewhere.
So anyhow, I was talking to my friend Tawan, and he was like, we should have a subject because he may pop on. And he was like, if he does pop on, he said we should have a subject. He said, how about that it's important to take time out. And he was saying not just time out for yourself, but mentally to get grounded, to reset yourself, to reboot yourself, put down electronics, meditate, stop the addictions for a second so you can control yourself and own yourself.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to put down the darn electronics. And I combat that largely by playing guitar. And I look down and I get a bunch of messages, and here's technology coming back to haunt you, in one way or the other. But yes, that's a wonderful topic. Time and how to take a time out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We started with time zones. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And so now I'm in a different I transitioned, evolved to a different place. So I'm at my son's helping taking care of my vehicle. And I'm honored. I'm honored to be able to help him. I took care of my first grandson when he was a couple months old until he was like 3-4 months old, and then I picked up again. And now my vehicle is about to be 6 months old on the 1st, so in a couple days. And it's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful age. It's a beautiful everything in a baby's life where they're just learning everything, and I get to be a part of that. So I'm blessed with that. I'm grateful.
Yeah, watching cognition and development take place in humans is an interesting thing, isn't it?
He's just learning to hold his own bottle and set up on his own and like take his binky from in his mouth, out of his mouth, in his mouth, and just learn that a thumb fits perfectly inside his mouth.
Yeah, it does. I sucked mine for way too long.
It's just the little things that's super, super cute that he's just learning how to do, and I don't want to miss out on that. I was able to help, like I said, with my first grandson. I don't want to, it's my legacy. I don't want to deprive them, let alone my memories.
No, of course not. It's really important for family to be in each other's lives.
Yeah. And
That's good.
I don't have my phone on me. My phone's down and the volume's always off and I'm not around it. I'm not looking to see what so and so is doing and trying to keep up with what so and so has on their Facebook and all this stuff. That stuff is not bothering me right now. Like I for real am peaceful with this baby.
Good. That's good. You are a natural caregiver. I mean,
Yeah.
so it just goes hand in hand. I've,
Yeah.
I've met your children. They're nice people. So that's what matters. I think it's really important raising nice people.
Yeah, we have enough assholes in this world with egotistical problems and selfishness that I don't want to raise another one.
No, we got a huge asshole problem. The fuck
Yeah,
your feelings crowd that just has to end some point. We need a where's human empathy crowd to take care
for
of stuff.
sure, for sure. And I don't want to bring negative or anything heavy into this podcast at
No,
all
no.
because as the People's Podcast, we're all about positive energy and high vibrations. I just want to keep enlightening and stay positive and keep pushing off that high vibrations off to everyone. And I appreciate everyone and love everyone. So, but yeah, if we can take and be mindful of ourselves and take accountability for ourselves and stop the cycle and make a difference in this generation, it will help the next to come.
Absolutely. The next generation. Yeah, we need a perfect kind of combination of old and new traditions to blend well. Good communication, it's not just for relationships. Good communication can be a global type of thing, even. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think that's something that we need to look forward to improving, of course, and the most positive aspect. And I talk to people all the time, and it just makes you feel good. Maybe that's taking a time out as calling an old friend or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what have you tried to make a habit of to take a time out for you? What do you try to make a habit of doing?
Ooh, heck, I got way back on my workout grind. Yoga is a wonderful thing to do if you don't want to involve. I got a bunch of plants in my room, and I do yoga in front of the plants. And the plants are great entertainment. They have nothing
Yeah.
negative to say whatsoever to you, actually. So
Yeah.
working out by them feels good. I never stop playing guitar. It gets frantic around gig times where I got to practice and starts feeling not like work. But that's a great one. Hell,
Yeah.
video games too. Even video games. I play video games sometimes. It's electronic, but for me, it's always been an escape. It means a little differently for me.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I get it. I get it completely. Um I just want I want to try to do something different. See, I like
Yeah.
for addictions and whatnot, he was saying that, we all have addictions and we all do, honestly, whether it's some cigarettes to smoking weed to food. If you do it in moderation, then it's okay. But if you do anything in abundance, then it's a considered addiction, right? Or a sin sort of.
Yeah. If you got to look at your life and say, "Is this causing me a problem?" Then it's a pretty bad addiction. You'll know when something starts causing you a problem. Like maybe you're patternistic with things. Like you like to shut doors behind yourself or turn lights off. It's not really an addiction, but it's something you've developed. It's not going to hurt your life. What's taking
Right.
time away?
I think that my addiction is food. And I don't mean because I don't eat like the average person does. I don't eat a lot of stuff. And there's certain things that I stay away from regardless. But I think like sugar, not candy, and not like I don't know, not ice cream and stuff like that, but mostly like I really, really, really like certain things. Like I don't know, and it's hard for me to stay away from it. Like it, like I will want some coconut and some, like the other last night I had coconut and I had some pineapple with melted chocolate, dark chocolate chips. Now, none of them are
Hmm.
really that bad. It's just that I felt glutton afterwards.
So why you eat? Do you? It depends, I guess. Do you eat because you're hungry, and then certain people eat because psychological things preclude you to eat. Like I'll feel better if I eat something sweet, mentally and physically.
Yeah.
That's not always the case because people get diabetes, obviously, and develop these things, sugar problems, because you abuse anything that happens. But yeah, maybe it's. I know people who stress eat, and then I eat sweets too. So I mean, I was bad when I first quit drinking. I was taking Pop Tarts. This is a true story. And I was putting Swiss cake rolls and shit in between them and like microwaving them and like
Wow.
smashing them just to get over like shaking. And as I sit here before you, this is my way too much of a cup of coffee of the day. And yes, we all have addictions, and caffeine just happens to be something I kind of lean on sometimes. Well, I've been doing better. It's not particularly good for you, but
Right. I get it. I get it completely. Um, I don't, mine's not because I'm hungry. Maybe because I get bored. Maybe because I didn't really eat much anyway, so my calorie count isn't gonna be that high. So I could, and I could have, I could afford to, and it's not gonna do anything to me. But then later, after I do eat it, I'm telling you, my stomach's like, why are you putting this poison back into my system?
yeah, absolutely. Sweets. You're either biologically missing something. Sometimes we eat weird things, and it's because maybe we're missing potassium or whatnot.
Yeah,
But void filling is something with addiction is really good at. Even something as menial as I'm bored, I never needed an excuse to drink. I would fill the void because I had nothing going on at that moment. Sometimes hyperactive people, that's a great way to get, addicted to things. I'm hyperactive, and for me, it's slow down pills and booze. It's weird.
yeah.
It's weird, but that's how it works for a lot of ways.
I'm a controlled. I got adult ADHD controlled. I'm a controlled sex addict. I'm a controlled. I used to eat because I felt like filled the void of something. It did. I had the whole abandonment issues, all this other stuff, and I healed from all of that. And then after I did the fast and all that other stuff, now like I do it because I really didn't put much in, so it's not gonna affect me. But my gut's like, it may not affect you in the calorie rise, but it's affecting your digestive and how I feel. Like
Right.
afterwards, I feel like, man, I just did something terrible. I went outside and ate a dandelion, and my stomach's like, okay, okay, I can handle this one. But then
It,
if I go and I wanted to make a smoothie, so I'm gonna make a smoothie afterwards. And then if I added something that's a little bit too rich and too harsh, my stomach's gonna be like, "Nah, you shouldn't have added that."
well, that's why those rich diets are really well, smoothies and then fiber, because, you want to pipe cleaner yourself out with a good diet. So probiotics and things you take,
Mhm.
vitamins from food actually absorb and work. They get a lot of mucus and backup in your intestines. And, heck, I'll be the first. There's all kinds of things. I do enemas. Oh, it sounds really scary, but it's really good once a month or two. It really resets everything and you feel better. And getting on a health kick, yeah. Sometimes you gotta stick it up your ass. I guess I don't know. But in the end of the day, it's nice to be able not to feel bloated and constipated and like I just
Yeah,
smashed it. I haven't had McDonald's in a long time, and thank goodness. I'd probably feel so sick if I ate it. I've replaced sweets largely with guys scoping out my yard. Get the hell out of my hood. We drive a truck full of bull crap in the back. But yeah, yeah, cutting that out and putting fruit in instead of sweets after dinner is such a huge
yeah.
improvement too. And that no pops, forget about it. That's great. I can fuck up in other areas and still feel overall good.
I like that. I like that. Yeah,
And I
yeah.
drink black coffee for the viewers at home. Blacker than my soul. No.
So we have to be mindful of our actions. We have to be mindful of ourselves. We really honestly do, and um, do a lot of self work, a lot of self shadowing and work.
Yeah, people are very overworked these days. I don't see a whole lot going into self care at all from anybody.
No, neither do I.
hard out there. Everyone's racing for that dollar, and I don't know. It makes you kind of subconsciously do despicable things, and maybe I don't know. The rat race just really bothers me lately.
Clout chasing bothers me. A lot of people do it because they want to look good to somebody else. They're all worried about what they look on to other people. Why are you worried about what so and so thinks of you or how you look to so and so when yet you got to live with you and no one else is around? So what do you think of you?
Right. Getting that person in the mirror looking good. People are worried about like there's a fine line between vanity and self-love. Like I
Yeah.
love mirrors. I am constantly looking at mirrors. Do I feel like Mike the Situation? Probably not. There's a scene I've seen him on like Letterman or something. He's just looking at the camera the whole time, staring at himself. But I love myself, man. I love staring in the mirror, and I didn't for so many years. I punch him and avoid him and took him out of my room. It feels good. It's good for self-love.
I don't look in mirrors right now. We talked about this before. I'm missing something. I have to do something. I think shrooms is gonna help me, but I every now and then I'll look in the mirror to pluck my eyebrows and stuff like that, and like I don't ever even look in the mirror to adjust my hair. Like I don't look at this before I do it. And after I do it, I don't look at it to see how it looks. I'm
No.
just like, fuck it. It is what it is, and this is it. And I love me regardless of how I am looking. Like I really
Good.
don't care how I look because to me, I love me.
Well, yeah, that's really good. There was a period of time I lived in small town Yale, USA. I wouldn't leave the house with the makeup on and stuff. But after a string of interesting events happened to me, I mean, I got the Daisy Dukes on right now. I go outside in the makeup. I don't give two shits about what people think about me anymore, and that feels good.
So let's talk about Daisy Dukes real quick. You see that meme that Tim did, which is L80's cousin, about L80 wearing the short shorts? Did you see it?
Now I have to look it up. I selectively go on and off Facebook.
It was the cutest, funniest thing ever. You know them ain't his legs, for real, for real.
Okay.
They're awfully pretty. And he was a little knob-kneed. I don't know whose legs they are, but it's funny when you can make humor like that with another without being hurtful and causing pain. He,
Yeah. I don't.
he go ahead.
It's I don't know. It's weird. Like I get the 1,000 yard stare from people all the time, and in reality, an old friend of mine, joked and said, "Oh, did you see Henry?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then like, "We lost a brother, but we gained a sister." And you know what? That's it. That casual humor coming at me like that made me feel more welcome and more happy than anything. And these are very country people, my country friends from where I'm from. I'm country as hell.
Yeah.
That feels good. We don't have to chastise and braid each other over everything. There's a lot of division and everybody hates each other, and it's hard to go on Facebook for that reason. Oh no, you're triggered. It's hard to wake up and say, we don't like you. 80% of the country doesn't like you or whatever. But that accepting humor right there is fun. I got stuck in a wheelchair for a little while when I was younger, and people were making fun of me, and that felt good. I felt accepted. People want to
I
feel
was
accepted.
I was called Frankenstein. I used to have a mole on each side of my neck. I
Oh,
had
good.
them removed, not because I was made fun of, because they hurt, because I would get my chains caught on, my hair wrapped around them, and
Sure.
they would hurt me. So I had them removed because they were in a spot that was not,
Yeah, they out
it
in the
always
sun and
caught.
stuff too. Yeah.
Everything always caught on them and they hurt. So, like, but the kids would call me Frankenstein and stuff like that. And they called me the monsters or whatever, because of it. And when I was younger, that stuff affected me, and I always wanted them removed because of that. But as I got older, I didn't care what people thought of me. For real, for real. If I had them removed, it's not because of people were judging me. It's because they hurt.
Yeah. No,
They would
absolutely.
bleed, and they would constantly would be pulled, and hair would get caught around it, and they would hurt.
But that's a fucking problem, right? I'd kick some kid's ass for saying that to someone if I was in school with you. But golf clap to the kids for always being creatively horrible. But more important
Yes.
to be creatively nice. There's always a good guy in the crowd, at least I hope. But yeah, that sucks. I walked around with a cane after that, and some kid called me old man shit nuggets in school, and I wrapped him upside the head with a cane, and we were friends ever since then, actually. But
Yeah.
once you don't care what people think about you. I mean this. You feel great.
You
Nothing can
do.
touch you.
You
I've
do.
had people can say deplorable shit to you, and you just brush it right frick off.
Yeah. See, and I was called Thunder Thighs, and I was called like I had shoulders like a linebacker because I was always bigger like this. I'm not big by any means, and I'm not thick. I'm thick, but a different kind of thick. I'm not like huge or anything. So like, for me when I was younger, back in the 80s, that girls that looked like that were made fun of when they were looked at as being a bigger girl. They were made
Hmm.
fun of because they wanted that small, petite Barbie doll, which call, you know? And I have a lot of friends, and I was bad at one time. Like, I made fun of somebody too before a couple times, and
We all do. We're
I
products
knew
of our environment.
I knew it's because I wasn't happy with me. I totally knew that. I knew that I was making fun of this person because of me.
Right. Well, that's why people lash out. It's because they're insecure about them. Think about it. Why would any happy person lash out at somebody?
Yeah.
Bully. Why? You wouldn't. Well-adjusted people, that's being well-adjusted. You can throw a lot of shit at me. You gotta be really callous to me to piss me off that bad. I'll go there now.
And you know what I find out too as I got older though? Like, if I could, I don't want to ever undo anything I ever done because I've grown so much and became such a better person. But words hurt.
Oh
And
yeah,
now I know never to say nothing when I'm mad or angry. I don't. I never will. I never really say anything to hurt someone's feelings and put them down. I won't do it.
yeah. Checking yourself's a good thing on all aspects.
Because them words you can't undo. You can't forget. I will heal. I've been physically abused, mentally abused, sexually abused, all that stuff, and I healed in all those aspects. But the mental from the words, that was the hardest thing to heal from.
Sure. Well, I'm never, ever, ever gonna heal from being an alcoholic. And that's for life. But that's
Mhm.
okay. That's okay. Being aware of it is healing. If I die aware of it, it's good. And then you can do the same thing too, because I think you're beautiful, dear.
Well,
And
no, and it don't affect me no more. Like, none of those things ever hurt my feelings. Like, I will not sit and think anything of me. I really do love me, like, a lot. Like, I don't want to talk boastly about me, but I'm a beautiful person inside and out, and I don't have to say that because I feel I am. So I don't really want to talk about how great I am because I know who I am. But I love me. I love me because every day I work on me. I love me because I know that I am flawed, but my intent is pure and genuine. I love me because when I do something, I do it for the right reasons.
that's what matters.
And I
That's what
treat
matters.
people the way I want to be treated. So I'm not thinking I'm perfect in this walking everything, but I do know who I am and I love who I am. So I'm not none of that stuff bothers me anymore at all.
Good. I was letting a lot of things bother me over the years, and learning tolerance, learning all of these things. I don't know, not being embarrassed of those flaws too.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to get over. And insecurity, that'll tear you up inside. The embarrassment and shame. Like I like saying I don't know now, because the
Me
smart
too.
person doesn't know everything. Smart person questions everything and then studies it.
Me too. Because before I used to make up shit, even if I did or didn't know. I pretend I did know everything and I lie. And I would
Lying is
just
an addiction too. You can develop into I want a lot of pathological liars. I was one.
yeah, me too. And I made up shit. Like, I would say I knew something when I didn't know, just so I felt like I knew everything. And now I'm so quick to say I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm good at knowing. And if it's something I need to know, I'll figure it out. I'll find out. But I don't know a lot, and I'm okay with that.
right. There's a lot of that. I don't know. It's a respect thing. Like
It
I don't
is.
know. You go and yeah, never mind. It doesn't matter. I was gonna make some weird analogy to something, but you got it. Really. And
But
then we're all making changes. I feel like I've made a lot of changes, and it's really positive. I've
and
been
being
not.
proud of yourself is one thing because I'm proud of who you became. You've grown a lot too, and I'll give you your flowers and let you know how wonderful you truly are to me. But just to be able to still wake up every day and feel blessed and highly favored is a blessing.
Yeah.
Is a beautiful blessing.
To be grateful. That's a good thing. You can't. I do the 3 things you're grateful for. It's one of my favorite things that I learned in, and maybe not just AA, but I've heard it in other places. But it's good. It's good. And then like you do it on autopilot. It's fun.
So when people want to be able to change themselves and start being more mindful of themselves, take time out, give yourself self-affirmations, realize 3 different things that you're grateful for.
It's a good list so far.
Everyone's flawed. You're not alone. But what standard are you going off of?
Right. A lot of people know what they've done. Skeletons in the closet can do a lot of things, but their baseline. There's nothing wrong with you. I've had gay people coming to me, freaking out about shit. Like, nothing wrong with you. People make you feel like shit around there. That's why I said the fuck your feelings crowd. They gotta get, because I don't know how many we're constantly in a civil rights movement. It's a bummer with somebody or something, and it's just not necessary. I mean, the movements are necessary. The foundation for why we have those movements. So everyone can get along kind of mentality, except it's real. You know, we have a bunch of stockpiles of weapons on this planet, world-ending technology. It's time to get along.
Yeah. And stop worrying about the wrong things, because our whole purpose on this planet is to stop repeating cycles and to come together and unite. That's what it is. Love is the answer and the key. Like, we really have to come together and unite. And that's what we're here for. That's why we're all connected as one. And this society has made it so easy for us to separate ourselves from the get.
Yeah. We're at a, there's nothing to compare it to because we can't see into the future, but we're at a technological, definitely not a standstill. It's growing exponentially with the advent of AI and all this technology we have now. I'm not saying, I'm not going to Terminator out or anything, obviously. This is a turning point where we could maybe get off the planet and go farther and understand things. That it all seems really cool and plausible to me, I hate to see things backpedal because of ignorance.
Yeah.
We're at a great time. We got social media and 90% of people use it wrong, I guess. I don't know. Having advanced communication has proved to be almost too much for human beings to handle. And where does that begin? Is the slate too muddled up to even rewrite it? Or I worry about those things.
You know what I've also realized? And you hit it right on the head, the nail right on the head the other day when you said that social media, and like I just said about society, they don't want us to unite and come together. They don't want us to be a collective whole and do things as one. Because they know it's harder in numbers. It's harder to overturn us when we come together as numbers. They want to keep us divided, so it's easier to conquer us. And they don't. I have been now, even though we all say take time out from social media and get mindful of yourself and meditate and da da da, I have been shadow banded and harassed and bullied by Facebook. Literally, their fact checkers really said that I've been sharing false news a lot lately. And one of the things that I shared recently that they banned me for 90 days again is, and I hadn't even finished my first 90 bid. Like, I've never been in trouble a day in my life with the law, but this Facebook, they get me slapping like a mug. And
you are America's Facebook's most wanted.
I am. So either there's 2 things. Either I really hit Mark in the right way and I'm a threat, I guess, or
I've always watched my back around you.
I don't get pity pee on me, like I don't get it. But anyhow, so I shared HUD housing. This apartment was for HUD housing.
That's fake? Is HUD housing real?
I thought it was.
That's You know, I've quit sharing memes for the longest, and if I see a good Far Side Gallery joke because I'm old and ridiculous, I'll share it. I like Gary Larson, but aside from that, I'm not. I'm trying to only make content now at this point. I won't share views if someone wants to hear views on certain things. I'm more than happy to discuss it. These memes, ugh,
It's not even a meme that I
no,
shared
not even
though.
memes, but
I shared Huz housing apartment housing for $600 and something a month, but you have to qualify and fill out this application thing.
who I
I
don't know.
I really thought people could benefit from this.
Yeah, well, no good deed goes unpunished. But
And
then
then there was the
you don't
solar
know anything.
panels. I got in trouble for the false news on the solar panels. I was under the understanding that the government, if you put solar panels on your house, they give you like some grant for it,
Hmm.
and it's called going green,
Yeah,
and that you can get it through this company and they'll actually pay for the solar panels, and your bill will be cheaper, and they'll give you this you get this tax write-off and whatnot. This is what I was under the understanding of. My whole life I thought that this was happening, because when in 2020 is when everything started doing that change of going green.
yeah, yeah. It went COVID too.
Well, it was way before that when they started doing it, like recycle bags and stuff like that. So better for the environment because of the ozone layer. So I always thought that go green thing was a big thing because we were trying to protect our environment. Um, Whatever, it's all bullshit. But
It's
anyhow,
the misinformation. I've had people come at me online saying recycling will be the death of the planet, and then some people come at me saying, recycling is going to save the planet, and I think recycling would save the planet. But and then in the same merit, I get people coming at me saying that birds are robots. So I don't know who to believe anymore.
that's what I'm
And,
saying too. I
and we
don't know
all
who
know
to believe.
birds are drones. No,
But I
none of that
did get
kid.
in trouble for that. Fact checker said that that was wrong, and I'm sharing false news. I did that. I did something that Jabril shared, and something I shared something he shared. I did 6 things already this year. Now, granted, we're only going in the 6 months, so like once a month, I guess I'm sharing something that I shouldn't be sharing. But if it's on Facebook and it has the button to share, and it's good for the environment and for people to know, I'm all about unity and sharing. So I put out the information. Hey, look what I found for grants and stuff like that, and then the fact checker will come on and be like, no, that's false news. I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to know? Take that shit off of Facebook if it's illegal.
Right,
If you're not supposed to be sharing this on Facebook, then remove it. You got these spam people constantly coming on there doing all that shit that keeps on going, taking over people's pages, hacking and shit like that, and that's acceptable. But I can't share something about HUD housing or solar panels. What
I
the fuck?
I don't know. I don't know. That's absolutely ridiculous. You think who I don't you never know what and who is planning what anymore. Who the hell knows what's going on? They're talking about who knows what's going on anywhere inside any of the government buildings. You got, everything is crazy.
Everything's
And
crazy.
there's so much information going back and forth and so many, and it's scary. The ultra rich, I'm sure they're all nice people who don't do anything weird with their money ever. And then you see people parking their cars on their yachts, and I'm thinking, surely this guy can help feed um, people. Surely he can put in fiber optics and run more power and
Yeah.
energy to Nigeria with his yacht money. Maybe we could be nice people. Maybe and nobody has to starve. And I don't have to get homeless for 1 year and go through dumpsters. And I'm trying to find food in the dumpsters, and I'm mad because there's so much food in the dumpster. So I'm homeless as fuck trying to tear food out of the dumpster and put some of it in donation boxes that's not expired. Give me a break. Wasteful. It's a true story. It's nuts.
So Tuan,
Hey, what's going on?
natural.
This is Twan.
This natural got bars.
Hello. I'm gonna write this.
So
Everybody,
natural. We were just talking about we don't know what's real and what's not real to do and say because they're changing everything. 1 minute you think it's safe to do this and say this, and the next minute it's not. and I was talking about how I am now banned for 90 days again. My profile says restricted for 90 days and bottom at the news feed, lower the news feed or whatever they want to do because I shared the HUD housing. And before that, it was the solar panels. All of them are false news, supposedly, the fact checker said.
Well, when you think about community based, if you think about selling anything, then they really need to be in the sales category.
And it
That's
wasn't
pretty
me
much what they're
selling,
saying.
I
That
was
might
just
be a good point.
sharing.
I'm just saying, like, you got to think about the rules to Facebook. You feel me? They don't mind if you speak your mind and stuff like that. But when it comes to planning to sell things without people permission, you feel me? That's when it becomes a problem.
That's a
But
very good point.
I
Yeah.
wasn't selling nothing with the HUD housing. There was a grant. You can go file, not a grant, but you can file for this application, do this HUD housing, and they only take certain people because you had a fifth criteria, and then it's $600 a month, and you can get a 3-bedroom place, apartments.
Mhm.
So I shared the information because that's good for some people, because some people might qualify for that.
That's
So
sale. You
how
sold their product to the community,
it
which
was
means
HUD
kind of
housing. I didn't
right, right.
sell
But what
HUD
I'm
housing. I
look,
just
look, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you did anything wrong. You didn't make a profit off of it.
not at
What I'm
all.
saying is, when it comes to the community, Facebook looking at it as you don't have permission to do that. It's a difference between recommending somebody not on Facebook. You feel me? Like, girl, hit me up in my DM. You know what I'm saying? Or fellas, hit me up in my DM about, you know what I'm saying? Da, da, da. You feel me? It's a little different. But my man's, he got banned for sitting up here trying to say that he wanted to work with me and a couple other people, hauling some stuff around, moving some stuff, and they flagged him. You feel me?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because you
But
can't use U-Haul or anything inside of a Facebook community.
mine was fact checker said it was false news. That's what
That's
they kept telling me. I've been doing. I did 6 things this year of false news, and I continue sharing stuff that's false. How do I know it's fake? How do I know that it's not against their community standards and their false news? How do I know that Facebook's going to be like, okay, this is not acceptable to share when it has a share button and it's already on Facebook? It's not me that put it out there. I just shared it. Somebody else put out there.
you'd probably have to speak in text about it. Just refer them, maybe links.
They
Um,
don't want unity. They don't want us to help one another grow.
well, Facebook is an entity that does make its own practices, and standards.
1 minute they say drink water, drink all lots of water. Your body needs it. It's full of water. You need all this water. Next minute they say don't drink a lot of water because it's not good for you. You need to eat the fruit and vegetables because your body will give you not the H2O, but it'll give you the hydrogen that your body needs in the water. It'll produce its own water. So it's not
Right.
H2O. It's Do you know what it is, Twan?
Whatever it is nowadays, they done fucked up everything.
But it's
Yeah.
it's something that you get from the water or from the fruit and the vegetables that produces in your body with hydrogen.
Electrolytes.
Yeah.
No,
That's
it's something
salt.
else, but it's not called H2O. It's called H3 something or something like that. But anyhow,
I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't think of the word for it.
I don't
People
remember.
are-
I
Uh,
don't remember the logistics of it and the proper, but I knew the gist of it. So then it says you are supposed to eat nothing but vegetables and yada yada yada. Now it's telling you, oh no, you really should just eat fruit only.
You got to find out what cavemen were eating and follow that diet.
I don't even think that
That's
would
what
be
you got to do. And I know
logistically
mammoth. We're not going to find any mammoths around here, but
proper.
they had it right.
They say
A
do
good
this, and then they
combination.
say don't do this.
I
Eat
mean,
eggs, don't eat
some
eggs.
at some point you got to figure out what's best for you. You
For
know,
sure.
like this world is so based off of technology dictating what's to come, what's to do next, how to feel. Sometimes you got to separate yourself. Separate yourself from the community and listen to your body and say, hey, if I give myself fruit, how do I feel? Okay, if I give myself plants, how do I feel? Okay, if I mix both of these together, how does it feel? Okay, this is my diet. If it makes you sick, okay, we all know when we take away certain things in our life that we so used to, we become sick. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a natural instinct of our body, but you really have to figure out what's good for you in order for you to not be controlled about should we or should we not. You know what I'm saying? Because I can say all day, hey, go to work. Hey, don't go to work. It's COVID. Hey, it ain't COVID no more. It cleared up. Go back to work. You'll still get sick.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta stop. You gotta stop feeding it to other people, giving you. Like, okay, remember when I told you I said everybody like to be told what to do, but how you tell them what to do is gonna
Yeah.
be if they do it. You feel
Right.
me?
Yeah, that's why, good teachers, I worry about that. You see some really cool teachers on the internet, and when kids connect with a good educator, that's when you're actually learning something in a fun way. People don't like getting the shit badgered out of them all the time by people. It's conducive to learning. Be good.
Definitely.
And everybody's different. Not everybody's wired the same when it comes to what how they process things.
Right. Some people are visual, and some people can read. I can't read anything. I have to put hands on it to learn anything.
Yeah. So we were talking about that you suggested that we should be mindful of ourselves and take a moment out of our day to reboot and to center ourselves and to get away from technology.
I mean, yeah, like even if you don't get away from technology, get away from what you're feeding yourself the same of every day. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wake up in the morning and you listening to uh tarot readings, which I used to do on a frequent basis, and it becomes to stunt your growth because it's like, hey, you reading this message of how they get you to come in to watch the video, but then when you watch the video, you wasn't feeling this until now they're speaking on it. You know what I'm saying? In a certain part of our life, even when we're going through things, we are learning how to get over it. But when we are triggered by reoccurring um, information, which is, oh, somebody lost a friend or a family member or a job opportunity, and maybe you are beating yourself up and stuff like that. Like, okay, we all know that's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? We know we've been on this earth for so long. We know how things go now. People are just complaining at this point.
Right. Well, you look at those Facebook reels. If you watch a really sad or upsetting or something that's counterintuitive to how you believe Facebook reel, you'll start getting smashed with all this negative information, and that's something all you can focus on. It's kind of algorithm that pushes that at you.
Yeah, I mean, so you gotta pay attention to what you're feeding yourself daily. You know,
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
anybody being negative, I separate myself from them quickly. Um, I I didn't heard people say the most weirdest, darnest, freakiest shit. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's just comedy. You know what I'm saying? At this point, it's all comedy. You know, this is my life, my story, and everybody around me is helping me continue this journey of being peacefully miserable.
Right. It's good. You got to stick around people that help you flourish.
I mean,
Lots of people hold you back.
yeah, the people with good intentions.
For sure. And then you can bounce that energy back and forth. That's a good way to be. I'm trying to be more positive too.
Also, you were saying before, natural, that you were trying to say that you gotta feed it to yourself too. You can't keep on doing this for everyone, even though this is your purpose and your calling, without fulfilling filling your cup too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you gotta think of everything like, hey, okay, if I'm the end all be all for somebody else in their life, and they viewing me from a perspective of what they don't see inside of me, they just hear and see my actions. You know what I'm saying? Then they really don't know how much I had to feel for me to be the person that they love and like.
And
Right.
you can't keep on giving your light to somebody and draining yourself, because then you won't have no light to continue to give.
I mean, yeah. Insanity, right? It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
For sure, for sure. Remember when you were at your weakest, Henry? Remember in life when you were at your weakest? How hard it was because you were in the storm at that time.
What? How hard it was? Oh, I was cooked. I was at my weakest. I was liver failure.
And how hard it was for you mentally and physically when you were
Oh, my leg.
dealing with it at that time.
um, I don't know, but I got a hankering for ice cream.
I hear that.
Um, healing from. I'm still healing from it. Sometimes it's hard today. I just get weird memories from it. Moving on is really important, and accepting your path that's in front of you. There's a level of accepting it, and then there's a level of just kind of learning and tweaking. I learning from mistakes. It's the biggest thing. I learned a lot.
But it's only hard when you're going through it. It's only hard at the moment. Once you get through that moment, it's no longer that hard. Giving birth is a good example. Now, neither of you guys can relate to this, but you guys can have a overstanding what I mean. Giving birth hurts so bad because I did it at 17. It hurt so bad. And after I gave birth and I was able to shower and I held my son, I no longer remembered the pain. I remembered it hurt, but I can't tell you what the pain felt like
That's this too shall pass.
because it's only bad when you're going through it. So anybody that's going through something right now, just remember it's only bad because you're going through it. But once you grow through it and achieve
Yeah,
it, it's not as bad as you thought it was.
and growing during it's really important because growing is getting past it. Sometimes people repeat the same things over and over again and they don't get past it. So
Yeah,
that acceptance and growth.
that's why they're gonna keep on coming back.
That's right.
But
Addiction's hard.
yes, so I want people to take time out, talk about three or four different things that you're grateful for. You can do three if you can't think of many. Say three good things about yourself. Uh, do something nice for yourself. I don't even care if it's giving yourself a compliment. Do something nice for yourself.
Absolutely.
What I do nice for myself is walk away from what's not meant for me. Removing myself from something that's draining me, something that's heavy on me, something that's just sucking my energy out of me. Removing myself is a gift to myself.
Right.
It's the hardest thing I ever had to accomplish and achieve because I was a people pleaser and I always wanted to give, 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 give because I had to fill that void of not feeling completed and loved properly. So I had to constantly give because that's how I felt loved and completed and properly taken care of. But once I learned self love and I learned peace, how important it was, removing myself from something that's not good for me, that's toxic and not healthy for me, that's not benefiting me and helping me grow, that is the best gift I ever could have gave myself. And it's hard. It's hard to walk away.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Absolutely. Making changes is hard on a lot of humans.
Giving up is hard. Even though what I gave up is the best thing ever to give up. It was the best thing ever to give up. But just to say, I didn't succeed in this, that I didn't make this work. If it was a job, a relationship, a test, anything, to realize and take the fact that I didn't fulfill like I wanted to. I didn't succeed in this like I thought I should have and like I would have. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, shoulda and couldas are those are bad thought patterns too.
Hmm.
Right. That's so funny, dude. We don't, and I say this shit all the time. We guys, we don't lose anything. We just replace things. So
Yeah,
anything that feels like it's breaking you or hurting you, it's actually motivating you to stop being that person that they wanted you to be, which
yeah.
is somebody that is controlled. That's all it is. That's all everything is. You know, you got to get out the illusion of needing anybody. You don't need anybody to be successful. You don't need anybody to be emotionally connected to yourself. We can self please and self sabotage ourselves all in the same moment. You feel me? So,
Mhm.
like I said, you got to show gratification every day to yourself. And remember, you are the light without that darkness in your life. You feel me? So, when God removes something, or the universe, or destiny, or whatever you want to call it, dharma, karma, when it removes it out your life, It was for purpose. The purpose was for you to take control of your life and stop relying on your emotions to get you places with people and things.
No, yeah, absolutely.
My
That's
bad. I know I'll
exactly
be
it.
saying a handful, y'all.
No,
No, you're
no, because
good. We're
that's
all
exactly what I was saying too. Though you just said what I said in a cleaner and more poised way, but that's exactly what I was meaning too. No, you're hitting it right on. That's exactly what I was touching the base on.
asshole tax. I got people who owe me like $5, $10 and shit. Maybe I people got asshole tax on me too, I'm sure, but that's like they owe me all this money. That's the price I paid for them to not talk to me again. Asshole tax. It's $10 for you to leave me the hell alone forever, or you can come back and pay the asshole tax back. That's fine too. It's easier than when worrying about the money in the first place.
I like that thought too. Yeah, it's anything for me. Like I watch this thing, and I know I'm gonna miss the day that TikTok. I'm not a big TikToker, but TikTok shows a lot of different things and have me have a different understanding of things. And I seen a TikTok when they said that we all chose this. We chose this before we were born. We chose what we were going through. We chose our parents. We chose our path. We chose all of this before we were here because everything that we're going through right now and growing through is a lesson learned for us that we have to achieve to get to our next step in life.
Sure. That's the hard things. The best thing you can do is learn a lesson from the shit you go through.
I'm so
That's
blessed.
good.
I wouldn't change nothing. Like I said, I wouldn't take back anything. I know
No.
now that my words matter and I use them correctly and I will not be unmindful of that and I'm not going to say hurtful things with my tongue. People do that a lot. They take a moment and they allow their tongue to become a weapon, and because they're living in this moment, they put a permanent word out there. But then they say, "Don't take that agreement. It's not my fault. I didn't tell you to take that agreement." No, you're right. You didn't tell me to take it. But when it came out your mouth, you spoke a spell to the universe, and I heard it.
Right?
You're
That's
I,
doing witchcraft to me.
I just feel like everybody's subjective to hoodoo in every way, shape, or form. So having control, like I said, if let's just say, right, I was in a relationship, and I was in a relationship that was based off of emotional intimacy, right? Once I stopped giving it emotional intimacy, what happens to the relationship? The relationship has to fall in order for communication to happen, in order for things to either stay where it's at for a while or continue to be the way that it is. You feel what I'm saying? Until somebody comes out and replace the things that would normally satisfy the body, the mind, the spirit, the emotions. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, everything is based off of what you create. If you feel that that person is, you know, controlling you by mind games, then how do you separate yourself? Okay, then how do you regain back consciousness and be able to take back control of your emotions? Okay, now how are you going to put your own self first and continue to flourish? Because this was only a downplay to who you were supposed to be. He showed you, hey, I can give you the pleasure, I can give you the doubt. Which one you want?
right. That
Absolutely.
gaslighting is emotional. It has absolutely makes an emotional minefield for people to go through. People will gaslight you.
It,
Horrible.
it's so funny. I had no clue
But
what
that's
that
not the
was.
issue. That's not the issue at all.
No, it's not because they are allowed to say whatever they want
Gaslighting is not the
to.
problem. I'm trying
It's
to tell
not.
you guys, like, ga-
They're allowed to say
gaslighting,
whatever they want to.
it's just what you're triggered by. What are you triggered
Yeah.
by? What are your triggers? Like, if you always been in a relationship where you always lost your power, then that means you never wanted your power. That means that you were okay with somebody else telling you how to live your life around them. You see what I'm saying? And you were okay with it. So you went out your way to be okay with it. That's all that
So,
is.
are you speaking specifically on like what codependency, like bad relation, no communication? Um,
Everything tied together. Everything tied together. There's no if, ands, or buts about a relationship, codependency, intimacy, financial stability, whatever it is. Everything is made up the same way. You just get it in a different form. Okay? Because you can be in a relationship with somebody for what? A year and a half. You can be on your job for a year and a half. Now you got some disappointments. Now you tired. Now Now you frustrated. You see what I'm saying?
I think so. You're
Now
just
you
saying,
dissatisfied. What I'm saying is, as a human being, we are going to be dissatisfied with things that repeats itself, no matter what form it comes in.
sure. I mean, you're always going to be dissatisfied about something. It's just managing that dissatisfaction.
That's what he was saying too. And that's what he was saying. He was saying what triggers you. So you can't expect someone else to be mindful of you. You can't. You can't
No,
expect somebody else to make sure they say the right things to you and watch their words because they don't know what triggers you.
I just feel like before you step off on the limb, just take control of your emotions, because for somebody else to manage your emotions and their time spent with you and every urge that they got within themselves to make something happen with you, it's a lot. It's a
yeah,
lot.
It's not their job.
You feel me?
Gaslighting, narcissist, all that stuff are words that a person put upon somebody to try to make a justification to label something to have an understanding of when that is not even true neither. It's us. We are the problem. We got to stop letting things affect us. If you have
Right.
dharma in your life, then what they say and stuff, what they say shouldn't affect you. They're allowed to say whatever they want to say.
I
It's
mean,
not.
yeah,
Is it cool? No, hell no. But they do it, and then who's it not cool to? At the end of the day, it reflects on them, not you, anyway. So
I mean, people put themselves through a lot of stuff because they just think they have to.
that's right. That's right. And that's what he was saying. Be
Yeah,
mindful of yourself and realize what triggers you and what causes you to do that because you're repeating that cycle over and over. Because the TikTok thing I was saying, until you learn that lesson from that, you're going to keep finding that same pattern. You're going to keep finding them same people, male, female, whatever it may be, that's going to keep doing that same thing to you until you learn that lesson from it.
right. Yeah, you got to be prepared for that.
Yeah. And the lesson I had to keep learning was that I'm serious about protecting my peace and that I'm not coming back here no more. So I have to stop getting things wrong for me.
For sure.
So I don't care if it's a narcissist or someone who's gaslighting. Them words really never existed. Gaslighting is a whole new thing that somebody who went to college and said that we're going to start calling this person who's kind of just an asshole because they want to be, just to have an excuse, the reason why people are the way they are.
People,
I mean,
uh,
honestly, bro.
I mean, people, abusers are going to abuse. A lot of people, abusers get off on it. You know, there's bullying. There's people who
But
are just like,
whose definition is it abuse? To them, it may not be to abuse. To them, it may not seem like it.
no.
So
Well, that's the thing. If you're abusing somebody and you're making them think it's their fault that you're abusing them and to either trap them in a relationship, you make people crazy by doing that.
but that's not their fault.
No, but they
That's
might think it is.
but that's your fault because you have to be more mindful of your own self.
Sure.
And that's what he was
Like I
saying
said,
too.
it all stems back to how you seen yourself growing up. If you don't remember your life, go sit down in a dark room. You'll remember your life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's real, getting your relation memory back. That's why
Yeah.
yoga and everything has been fun. I remembered a lot of shit from my past, believe it or not, on mushrooms. They made me come to terms with some stuff that I kind of just didn't realize before. Fun thing to do to reset your brain once in a while,
I need
in
to
my
do it for
opinion.
real, for real. I'm telling you, that will give me my thing. I know that will give me my release that I have to have.
Hallucinogens are interesting if used properly.
So I want to thank everybody for coming on and being a part of Unseen Twisted Truths, the People's Podcast. I appreciate you guys. I have nothing but love and respect for both of you. If we could learn anything from us, if you could take any message from this and use it as a lesson or a gift, what do you think it should be? I think that for me, I think it should be that Worry about you and what your thoughts are, and not worry about what somebody else did to you, because you can't keep blaming somebody else for you. It doesn't matter what they said, what they did. None of that matters at the end of the day. None of that really honestly matters. It's about how you received it. So you can't blame somebody about for how you receive it. Like the person said to me one time, because I'm putting all this out there doesn't mean that you have to take the agreement. You're right. That was the truest thing ever. I don't have to say I am a succubus or that this and all this stuff that you called me, because at the end of the day, you're not doing anything wrong. It's me. It was triggering me because I allowed it to. So I have to be more mindful of myself. What do you want people to take from this, Henry?
I guess it'd be a similar thing. Accountability is really important. If you are being victimized by somebody, accountability is getting help. Realize those things that happen. We talk about being grateful too. I wouldn't be sober if I couldn't hold myself accountable for all the bad stuff that happened. So, and just really just learning and maybe thinking about making changes. Sometimes if you're thinking that a change might be a good thing, maybe go for it. Just make sure you examine that.
Natural, what do you want everybody to take from this?
I just feel like every trial has errors for correction. So if this your trial and it's creating errors, then there's need for correction.
Every situation is a lesson learned, for sure, for sure. You have to learn something from it. If you didn't learn something from it, then why you go through it? We only can grow through what we go through.
That's a good point for the whole
Yeah,
podcast. Lesson learned.
You have to take it, everything you've been through, everything that you're going through, even the stuff, Henry, when it says that you're being what did you call it, if you're being in a relationship where someone's abusing you, or whatever, what's it called, what'd you say it was?
That term gaslighting, it gets thrown around a lot, but
Yeah, but you said something just a minute ago. If you're in a situation where it's unhealthy for you, I forgot what he called it.
an abusive situation.
Oh yeah, abusive situation. If you feel that you're in an abusive situation, shadow yourself. Start doing some mirror work and realize, why is it abusive? We allow it, we accept. There's a lesson here. Find that lesson and learn from it, and then stop repeating the same cycle. That's the whole thing. It's insanity. Would you say, Natural?
so I'm agreeing with you.
Okay. So if anybody could get something from this, we all agree is that be mindful of yourself, and start realizing there's a lesson to be learned through this situation, or you wouldn't be growing through it, because nothing happens to you, everything happens for you.
heck yeah, Kimberly.
So I appreciate you guys. May everybody's night be full of positive energy and high vibrations. Go hug a tree, go put your feet in the ground, go touch some water, go reboot and ground yourself.
I might do that right now.
Do something wonderful for you. All right, I love you guys. Stay blessed. Ashe, everyone.